So this is a fantastic slate in the sense that it's the first one in a very long time that I can remember that is not heavily impacted by COVID. It's kind of fun in that way. It's like a normal NBA slate. The downside to that is we don't have these obvious pockets of value like we've had the last basically month. I think the one team that's probably the most beat up in one specific area is the Los Angeles Clippers. They just don't have many wings available for tonight's game. Paul George is obviously still dealing with his elbow injury. Luke Kennard is in the health and safety protocols. Justice Winslow just joined him in the health and safety protocols. So you've got two guys on the Clippers, and believe me, trying to figure out the Clippers rotations the past 2 weeks have been headache-inducing. But I think Amir Coffey and Brandon Boston are both going to have to play somewhere in the realm of 25 to 35 minutes tonight. And both have shown the ability to be explosive scorers and to be really good DFS assets. So Coffey's 4,400, Boston's 3,700, has a little bit more positional versatility. So maybe I lean Boston here, but I honestly think both guys are viable at their price point because the Clippers are just going to need bodies in tonight's game against the Nuggets.
All right, Nick, which game are you going to target here for some value?
Well, I'm going to target that same game, but look on the other side. And Garion's right. It does feel like the worst is behind us as far as COVID absences. Players are now emerging within like 4 to 5 days instead of what felt like 7 to 12 days for a long time. But we still have one, fairly meaningful COVID absence in Denver, and that's Will Barton, who entered protocols on Monday. So, to me, that opens up some value kind of at that shooting guard wing position. Denver's a little undersized there. They're kind of using like 4 or 5 smaller guards. A lot of those guys playing up a position. So Monte Morris, to me, makes some sense at 4,700. You could always chance it with Facundo Campazzo at 4,600. But I think the guy I like the most, and I do worry that maybe he's going to be a somewhat popular pivot because of his price, 4,100, and the fact that he played 32 minutes against OKC on Sunday. That's Austin Rivers, who had 6 3-pointers, 22 points in that game against OKC. Obviously, he's a really fickle player. I'm not going to tell you he's for sure going to go off and give you 40 DraftKings points here, but at 4,100 for a guy who's probably going to be locked into around 30 minutes, I'm leaning toward Rivers tonight.